Okay, hello there. Good afternoon, good morning. Let me just get that coming out here. Okay, works. Hi there, it's Jarek. As always, welcome to our bi-weekly AMA. You can ask me any questions. Us, actually. I believe we got a few team members in the chat as well. And yeah, it's been actually quite good weeks, a couple of weeks. Yeah, we received quite a lot of good info, so I'm excited again, full of energy, full of power, as it is when you're getting only good news. It will eventually end, right? At some point we're gonna get some bad news, but we do have also good news for you, and especially for some of the projects. Hello Shadow, hello Edward. Hello. Hi Jakub. Jakub is also. Hi Maciej. Hi everybody. I've got loads to show you today. Here we have the big box. On the left you can see pre-painted. Something I want to show you this. What else there? I've got the large. Yeah, the you've seen the pirate ship, so just want to talk about it because there's some questions from Mama. And as always, oh, by the way, we do have some internet troubles yesterday and today. It's kind of windy here in Poland, but that shouldn't affect it. But anyway, just in case if connection drops, just give me a few seconds, it should be reconnected and so on, okay? Right. Let me have a look. Is there any questions here to start with? Few questions we have here, like for new caves, the columns, full walls. This time around we haven't decided to go for something else, not the full walls. Let me just show you something. That's one of the example. That's one of the example. So let me just switch to the other camera just so you can see the full detail of it. So what I'm showing this, the main reasons why we decided to change this and go into this kind of theme was that our 2D and 3D managers has decided to go for much more organic and yeah, a much more organic and artistic way of sculpting. The adding full walls and adding another section of walls, it's got some limitations, and without sacrificing a lot of design, we couldn't make it. So that won't have it. However, there's other solution. The team and I believe Marcin was working with the other team for a alternative solution to stacking the caves. But we have to wait for the Kickstarter campaign. I do have something to show you today. I have a super stretch goals, 2 of them, and I've got to say it's gonna be one of the best terrain we ever designed, with all of the Dungeon Lasers product line, which is really amazing, really amazing. Okay. There's a question here. So, what's the dimension, the big box? Do you need to figure? You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that because it happens that I have a measuring tape here. That's gonna be. Oh, that's gonna be big. Let me just one sec. Yeah. So that's 51 centimeters by 31 centimeters by 22 and a half centimeters. Sorry, I won't be able to calculate 2 inches from top of my head. So if somebody wants to do it in the comments, then great. So it's large box, it's huge box. I think it goes. 1 second, just to my face. I think it will go into one of those slots, maybe. It's quite heavy, so maybe I'll try later. I don't want to drop it or something at the moment. That's something also here. So we're gonna be at the next week. We're gonna be at the Nuremberg. I'm gonna be there with the team, with Bogusz and Marcin. Let's go to the presentation quickly, because I can see that some questions are repeating from what we had at the from Discord. So heroes, I can talk about shipping, although the update is out there. We post the update, we gave you the tracking numbers to ships, and those dates are final for collection, because we booked containers. So as you might know, there is still issue with shipping anything out of China, because everything needs to go around the Africa instead of the Red Sea, which means that you know, those containers are spending more time on the water, and ships spending more time on the water, so everything kind of shifted for a couple of weeks, but nothing major. The most important bit I want to communicate is that the manufacturer confirmed that everything will be shipped before Chinese New Year, which is really great, because otherwise we would have to wait for at least 3-4 months more. So that's that. Quite happy about this one. Big box, I will show you in a sec. I've got pre-shaped miniatures, by the way. And apologies for that one. Apparently I had those we had those miniatures here sitting for the last month. So yeah, I just only found out last week. It was miscommunication, as always. Right, but I'll show you those things. Battleground, if you have any questions about the Battleground, what I can tell you right now is that we plan to, because we've got now a US market, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and we plan for the Battleground to start or make or run basically the crowdfunding campaign for it, and it's going to be second quarter of 2020 this year, around about May, June. The main reason is because we want to have good launch and good start in the USA for this game. This game deserved that, that's for sure. This game is scored very, very high at the Board Game Geek, so you can go have a look. I think it's 8.5, 8.6, something like that. So and receiving very, very good feedback. So something we have to do it regardless. So that's that. Then I've got Deusle. I've got miniatures, and I wanted to spend a few minutes on the miniatures. So for those of you who really, really appreciate miniatures, I want to show you something what we managed to achieve, and we're kind of ready, and we're ready for something I'm going to be talking about in a sec. And then we have a caves, which I want to show you the Super Stretch Goals whip. So something you're going to get for free as a part of the Super Stretch Goal. Free Super Stretch. Oh yeah, okay. It's gonna be part of the Super Stretch Goals, right? So, few things from AMA. Let me just check comments. Jesus Christ, we've got plenty of comments here. Captain Ferrier, thank you very much for for the calculations, at least to remind everybody the sizes. Battleground is really good. It is. I love it. I love that game. This is the kind of a game I really like to play. It's forcing me, literally forcing me to use my brain constantly. It's not like any other skirmish game or war game when you just kind of move your models and throw your dice. Here you have to plan, you have to have a backup plan and such. So it's really game for people who wants to. It's like, I think the ideal would be, the ideal target would be a Magic the Gathering players, because when you draw cards, it's completely random and you have to adjust your strategy, kind of adjust your strategy on the go, exactly the same with the Battleground. So yeah, that's that. Okay, looking at the Voltan, he asked the question at the Discord. I would like to have some more news about the future of Heroes of Might and Magic game as well. And a little bit like mini size, round or square bases, and so on, and ask some news about Titanomachy. I do not have any news for Titanomachy. However, as we mentioned several times, we push on our own IPs, and This is gonna be something. This project which our sculptors are extremely excited about it. But going back to first part of your question, what I wanted to, yeah, that's the thing. So we're looking at a 32mm skirmish game. We're looking at rank and file, so square bases, units, right? Designers, we have Andy Chambers and Jervis Johnson. Both of them are extremely experienced in terms of, wargaming. So they actually from Games Workshop. Jervis just left Games Workshop a couple of years ago. He was there for 35 years. I think he designed. I know for sure he designed some good games, like Blood Bowl, and he was also the Age of Sigmar designer. On top of that, there is a Jacek, there's probably myself, and a few other people who's going to be participating as our designers for this game. 3 factions at the release, 2 factions starter box plus 1. And then release, we're looking at first or second quarter of 2025. All depends on how good we're going to go and how much we're going to make in terms of sculpting. That's going to be something you really, really want to keep your eye on. If you a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic, I'm going to peel the beans a little bit here. We had a meeting with Ubisoft. We had a meeting with Ubisoft. I don't want to say too much, so maybe let me take this one slowly, right? So we had a chat with Ubisoft. They gave us access to refresh materials on Heroes of Might and Magic, so something completely new. You haven't seen it, right? I mean, I wish to show you those things, right? But I am unable at the moment, so we will feed you gradually. But some refresh units, they look so, and heroes, they look so amazing, unbelievable, and they've been working on that refresh for last 3 to 4 years, and I was blown away with amount of materials they generated for heroes and such. It's just amazing, really amazing. So we will show you gradually when the time is right. Okay, we might be doing some blog post about it. The big announcement kind of about this game will be at the next Wargaming conventions, which is in the UK, which is called Salute. So stay tuned, it's in April, so at that time we should be able to show you bits and bobs, some miniatures and some concepts, but those concepts are amazing. Blow my mind. This is even better than GW concept, right? Even better. So it's that good. And I'm very honest, very honest in terms of actually bashing ourselves in terms of our concept are not that good. Those ones from Ubisoft, they're amazing. Okay, is there going to be the Grim asks the question, is there going to be any pre-painted scattered terrain like benches, tables, beds and any other things in the Caves Kickstarter or possibly next projects? Pre-painted scattered terrain would be cool. There's something very important I need to address now, is that we only going to be offering pre-painted terrain per set. This means walls, floors, doors, right? Anything else which is, we call them props, so anything else which goes not on the main terrain sprues won't be pre-painted. So that's only one thing. However, it's gonna be almost majority, so 80%, 90% of the Kickstarter would be. Okay, Heroes Might and Magic 3. So Chi asked the question. Home 3 is Chinese New Year, would happen before everything is shipped, and there would be a mass delay. Is there anything that we can do? Is there anything else that just bite the bullet and wait? Is legal action even possible? Fines maybe, just curious. Nothing, absolutely nothing we can do. I think it's kind of the way we structure our contract, which we haven't. It's just pure manufacturing order. But lesson learned is that next time around we will definitely work around making proper contracts with shipping dates and fines if the dates are not met. It was a lot of stress for team here and for everybody here in the last couple of months, because of, you know, we couldn't confirm dates and the dates were moving back and forth and stuff. So what we want to do in the future, because some of the projects we're gonna have and they basically going to be probably numbers similar to this one, is we need to have a very good contracts in place. Is that possible with them to put some, you know, fines and everything else? I don't know. We haven't tried that, and I haven't heard from any other company to actually doing so. So we will see. There's something important I need to say about that. This, you know, our commodity, or our, you know, the board gaming industry is tiny. It's kind of small, and those manufacturers, they also tiny and small. If you compare it to anything else, like, you know, I don't know, fridges or some electronic stuff, and it's got completely different approach, right? So it's not being taken too seriously, if you know what I mean, by manufacturers. Although the other point of that is we want to move to production to Poland anyway at some point, and have, you know, our own manufacturing in Poland. Only one problem is miniatures, because as I mentioned this one several times, it is almost impossible to make any production of miniatures, PVC miniatures in Europe. Yeah, that's that. We will find the solution. We'll find some workaround, I hope. Okay. So let me just quickly, before I move, oh yeah, there's also this. I know you have many questions about it. So if you go to a Board Game Geek, and then if you go to Heroes Might and Magic sub thread, and you will find chapter 1, how to play Heroes 3. It's in English, and I'm guessing this is not the first one and not the last one, which we contracted, and they're slowly going to be appearing on the Board Game Geek. And also, if you have, you know, received the game and you love it and like it, and search on, if you want to leave some comments, it would be great if you go on the Board Game Geek and give us some scores, please. That's very important, because our team is kind of judged by the how good we do on the Board Game Geek. At the end of the day, Board Game Geek will give you the proper scoring of your game. So, and also we need a feedback if there's some changes required for the game and such, or maybe some FAQs or whatever. I've got some comments here that there is some errors in those because they might have the old rulebook. I don't know, but team will have to check that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the last one was asking question, what's the Battlegrounds? Battlegrounds is the Master of the Universe. You got the answer here from Ivan. Okay. Okie dokie. Let me just move to big box. Right, the big box. That's funny. Yeah, Sagittarius was saying that it's some, you know, some rankings before the game even is out for stupid things. It happens. It like happens to everybody. Some people complain that we shouldn't even make any board game out of Board Game Geek and score 1. Just I don't know why, but you know, okay, fine. We can't do nothing about it, right? So that's why I'm asking always just go and score, because more good scores we have, obviously it will level up those things which you know we're getting like ones for unnecessary ones, like, you know. Anyway, happens. Okay, I'm gonna move to big box now. I'm checking, looking at the comments, so I think we're okay with comments at the moment. Okay, let me just go for the camera. Might have to shift something around on the table. Let me just move the microphone a little bit closer. I'll take this one for later. Yeah. I have to do it this way. This way go. Okay, so the improvements, the changes, right? So there's lots of things you ask for. And lots of things we told you we're gonna do it. So one of the first things is basically we have changed the box itself, the thickness of the box itself. It's extremely yeah. So it's extremely robust, and I don't see this one getting damaged in any way possible. Not at least like, you know, in normal conditions. Normal use conditions, right? So that's that. Obviously the graphic, you have it on each of the sides and such. Okay, the written content, right? Mission books. You have seen them, they haven't changed, they exactly the same as it was. So the mission book, the core rule book, right? The tournament book, and then you have astrologer's answers. So that's quite important. So I would, you know, after you go through the rulebook, go through this. You have some FAQs here, and some answers frequently might come up about the difference between the video game and the board game itself, and some justifications why we did that way, not the other one, not the other. Then we have mission book for the Inferno. Obviously, Battlefield rulebook. That mode is hot. It's really hot mode. Mission book for the Rampart. Right. Fortress mission book. It's a lot of books, so they go on top, right? Makes sense, right? So the layout, the mission book. Now, this is just basically your guide for the trace. So what we have on the trace itself, you will find a numbers and letter, one number and one letter. And if I remember correctly, it's the letter, letter responds to a faction, so Rampart, and then the miniature number 1 from the Rampart, miniature number 2 from the Rampart, so as such, right? So then you will know which miniatures goes where, and it's a double-sided piece of paper which allows you to go and place your miniatures back in the trays if you know, take all of them out. And first tray of tokens. Second tray. And then we are. Okay, so 3 improvements here. Improvement number 1 is that we changed the way how the box is assembled. So the core game and everything you need to start the game, if you don't want to go for the additional factions you have here on top. So you just remove that and off you go. That's improvement number 1. Improvement number 2 is something you have noticed the last time, that it's flimsy, so it wasn't actually stir enough. But as I mentioned, what we were showing you last time, it wasn't the final product, it was just made of the material they had on hand. And the third one was basically difficulty to actually removing this one out of the box because it didn't have no hangers. So what we have designed here, or what the manufacturer designed here, you have some small things you can just put your finger in there and remove that one without actually stretching the box out. Yeah, makes sense, right? So I'm not gonna go through entire content because I don't think this is necessary, because you're gonna get it in soon. So I will leave it for you, but just want to show you the full content of that one and all the improvements we've made for this big box to actually work for you. Right. Second box, second layer. This is the miniatures. That's the miniatures. I'm gonna take some miniatures now and show you painted version and the shaded version and unshaded version, just so you can compare it, right? So same here, you have a place to put your fingers in and remove that one out. So as you can see, It doesn't go nowhere. It's not flimsy whatsoever. It's actually quite sturdy. Let me get some minis. Have some. Okay, so here we have a mini which is not shaded at all. Has no shading. So basically pure white. In terms of shading of white, this is how the shaded mini white looks. So as you can see all the recesses of minis, and detail is actually much more visible in the miniature. So that's typical shading, although not all miniatures being shaded that way, because this is white color and it's quite difficult to get on the white color anything else. So the white one was just mainly shaded. I'll show you other examples. Okay, this change is slightly different. So we have a comparing both minis. So you have kind of three colors. Oh, Jesus Christ, I won't be able to. Yeah, you have three colors here. So you have a main color, which is the yellow one, which miniature was on, and then you have a second color, which is kind of orange for the shading, and then on top of that you have a layer of dry brushing in white to actually give it even more. Right, so it's not like normal shaded. It's actually also dry brushing, right? So here is exactly the same way. We do have a blue, and then shading like washing, and then we have one more dry brushing in white. You have to bear in mind this is a handmade, so it's not machine made, it's handmade, so you might have everybody will have a different level of this white pre-shading, right? But they should be within kind of similarities. I think the best way. Here's another example of pre-shaded. So purple, black shading, so black wash, and then we have a white dry brush. Right? Now the tricky one. The black one was the tricky one, right? So that's the original mini. One sec. And we needed to find some solution for that one. So it's a glaze, and then you have a white shading. I think it's yeah. So even we managed to do that on the black, kind of grayish black. And as I've mentioned, I think the purple looks the well, kind of the best, because that's the miniature which doesn't have no shading whatsoever, and that's the shading on the you're going to get. So the minis, they do have a lot of detail. It's only it's basically the paint which, you know, give it more. Yeah. So I did show that. Let me show you more. So the green ones actually is slightly different as well. So here we have a original mini, right? And here we have the one which is a pre-shaded. So this time around, actually the colors are reversed. So the original mini is actually whiter color, and then the washing is darker green. And then you have a yellow dry brush on it. So, I mean, the difference is huge, right? It was worth it. In my personal opinion, that was worth it. It's much more than just basically a washing. Same for Dragon. And I'll show you the original one just to compare, right? That's the camera. You ask for the appreciated camera. Okay, so I know there was some questions about the head itself, and about the is a miscast or something. No, it's not. It's the way it was designed by the sculptor, and he wanted to give this motion of movement of wings and stuff like that. Yeah, pre-shaded looks much better than the original one. Original one, it's kind of its face. It's blending too much with all these hairs around him. So, fur, not hairs. So yeah. But if you paint them, then, you know, definitely you'll be able to actually get this detail out from there. Look at the beholder. I don't know, that's funny that actually the naming is beholder, right? Nobody's got a problem with that, actually. So green. I need to show you some green. Right. Here is the same stuff. So dark green for the forest, right? Dark green, and we have highlighting dark green, and then we have a black wash, and then we have a highlighting with kind of a light green. This is how you would paint your miniatures, right? This is like kind of the first initial step when you paint your miniatures, and then you take it all the details later. But for the board game pieces, for those of you who don't have any paints at home, it actually looks really good, really good. I'm quite happy because this is new process for the manufacturer as well. It's not like they just have idea what to do and what to do. Just, I don't know, it's a funny story. I'll tell you in a sec. Let me just show you, compare them with unshaded version. So that's the unshaded versus shaded. I know we showed you pictures today on, damn it. I showed you pictures today on the update, and they were not showing you as much as I'm showing you right now. But yeah, I hope you will be able to see the difference now. Yeah, okay, that's good. Sorry, my camera is quite, you know, quite high, so. And the last one, but not least, is basically Inferno. So for the Inferno, that's what we have. You do have a red miniature, and then red wash, and then kind of orange dry brush. Right? And I'm gonna go deeper in the box just to show you the original one, right? Okay, so that's that. And then you have those two layers of which you have seen it before. Oh, by the way, there was a question about that. If you remember this one, that one, the player's aid. The player's aid originally was just piece of paper. Now we've made the thickest printable card possible. So this is like your playing cards for the games you have, and then also you're gonna get plenty of them in the box anyway. So you know, every single player we have. So it is quite nice. So I'm happy about that, because that was the other improvement which we promised to implement. And then you have a combat board. That's the expansions, right? Map for Battlefield. Sorry, I need to. Right, and then that's your expansion for Battlefield, and then miniatures for the Battlefield if you wanna go for that one. So that's how it looks. I've got some Inferno units here. Let me just take them out, and good to actually compare them with. Yeah, so that's the original red. I mean, come on. Right? Yeah. Look at that. So the difference is that, right? So you can see it. Blue is actually done very well in my opinion. You know? Well, purple as well. Okay, so rest of the stuff. So you have your cards here. It's a tray. It's a very heavy tray. So it's really robust, but it's very heavy tray because all the cards are 1,000 cards here, right? Or something crazy like that, because we do crazy stuff. And then the bottom layer, you have your plastic tokens, and then you do have your miniatures, so large miniatures. Did I show you the black ones? Haven't I? Maybe not. Not quite sure. Sorry. So we can compare dragons. Zombie dragons. I did show you because I've got my table here. Okay. That's that, and on this here we have side by side a dragon. Okay. Right. And when it comes actually putting everything together, so once you finish, you place your miniatures back, you place the card tray back. Right, if you haven't enjoyed, if you haven't played the this expansion, it stays where it is. It stays here, and then you have your board games. One, second one, the miniatures tray, and the main game tray. Obviously this one's got lots of tokens, so those ones, the ones you have seen it here, they goes in those pockets, right? So you have 1, 2, 3 here, and a few more down the bottom, but there is more than enough space for tokens to be. And then all the written content, so the rules and such. So that's the big box. I'm very happy with the improvements. I mean, this is. Sorry, I'm clumsy, so it'll take me some time. Doesn't close like an Apple one, you know. Okay, I was just joking. So that's the big box. This it's actually in a boat now, so if you're going to say we should change something, it is impossible, by the way, right? Okay, let me show my face first. Maybe let's just go, I don't like my face, so maybe let's go to this. Okay. Right, so questions about the big box. Pretty sure they say they would have the room for the sleeves. Yes, we do have a room for the sleeves. We did that, we confirmed this one a few times. Obviously it's a 90 microns sleeve, so if you're gonna for anything thicker, might not actually have a room, but 90 microns, from 60 to 90 microns are the ones which we recommend. I think it's a standard. Nowadays it's a basically standard to actually have sleeves because people wants to look after their games. What about small boxes? Can be 120 microns? We haven't checked that, to be honest. We could potentially have a look on that one, but I don't think so. Yeah, I do have an art book. I do have it. One second. You know what? Somebody nicked it from my office. Somebody nicked the art book from my office. I had it here because it was part of this pledge, part of this box. Give me literally 5 seconds. Literally 5 seconds. Oh well, it was on my desk yesterday, ready for me for AMA. Somebody actually snatched it. Sorry, no art book today. I promise to show you next week. Anyway, that's it. Any more questions about the big box? There goes Jarek flipping tables. Nah. Maybe I place somewhere. I don't know. I had it ready this for you guys for today, but happens. Really happens. I'm pretty sure it was there on the table. Oh well. Let's move on. It's not mine. It's actually one of those boxes which we received as making sure that everything is correct and right from the manufacturer. But we had also request from Ubisoft to send a number of those things to the office, just to check what's in the box. Like they do have quite a lot of players there, so I believe it's gonna be played around, or they're gonna play with it. So yeah, it needs to go. It's going to Ubisoft, that one. And I do have other languages, by the way, boxes. We have received the other languages boxes, big boxes. So everything is been fully 100% checked, and we don't expect anything because it is on a boat, so shouldn't be no issues. But you know, we double check, triple check, and check later just in case, instead of being sorry later. You know. What else? What else, guys? Do you have any more questions? I do have here. Thank you. You've missed. Hi, Ian. You've missed the unboxing of a big box with all the improvements we've made to it. Okay. Okay, so quick one here, because this is also something we did address at the update, but just want to confirm. So Steffi asked the question, will the coins, buildings, morale and valuable minis be shaded. We only shaded miniatures. We're not shading any other elements of the game. Only just the miniatures. So tokens and everything else is unshaded. It's clear because shading miniatures or shading a tiny token is the same price, and we have to increase the price for it from the manufacturer. And then it is so tiny. Some of them are so tiny elements, like you know, those tiny plastic tokens. They're not basically easy to do that. So Jakub, sure, let me just yeah, let's go through it if you want to have a look. Box is really heavy though. Let me just change camera. At least you're not gonna be bored waiting for me to dig into the box. So as we are on those cards and sleeves and everything else, so as you can see here, let's have a look. There you have a room here. So if I squeeze them like that, you should be able to place everything in there. You have a room here. Oh, sorry. You have a massive room here. So some of the cards, when you put in sleeves, goes here. You also have a card sleeves here, right? This is also card sleeve. These tokens will go eventually to one of the sockets, right? So there's a plenty room. Those you have seen it, right? So let me just check the buildings. Where do we have those lovely buildings? There they are. Right. Let me try to do a spin for you. So yeah, we did it. We needed to do a tiny changes for manufacturing, just to change a few things in order to actually make those things. Buildings. They're not that easy to manufacture because of dimensionally, and some of them they need to be glued. So this element is actually made of 3 elements or 4 elements, even 4. The base for this, and then the main tower, and then we have those 2. There's this camera. So, nothing to ashamed of, right? Now I'm not gonna struggle to put everything back. Goes. Here. We got it. Okay. So, you have any more questions? Which I should ask when I still got box opened. That's good. Thank you. Right. Let me just pack this box and we can go for the because there's a few more questions to answer. One of the questions which we have, and if you have more questions about the heroes, just keep them coming, and I will come back to them just in a sec, or maybe towards the end of the video, towards the end of the chat, of the live stream. Jesus Christ. If I'm not gonna get too much from that, too much. I just need to put. Right. Okay, so the question is about the airship. You showed a standard version and extended version, but can you confirm how the ship is extended? Right, let me do that. Let me just change the camera quickly. That's the unboxing one, right? So the standard airship is this. So it has one middle section. You have a front and a back section, and then one simple middle section. So what you do, you only take this middle section from any other airship and simply glue it together. And this is use camera and glue it together. So here we can see two additional sections, right? That's the same. You can actually glue them other way around, so that will give you kind of slightly different detail on it, but it works, right? You will be able to see just in a few days a painted version of that airship, because this is what we are. I've seen some whip, but I don't have it in this presentation to show you. So that's it. So yeah, so question technical. So I am maintenance engineer as profession, work at a lot of the bigger extrusion machines on the market, making food plastic, vinyl, ground, and so. But we're seeing the end results of the pre-painted one. I'm very curious if you are willing to show a video of the painting machine in working. I did show one video in the previous AMA, but I will keep it for now as a company secret. I mean, the couple things is we need to what we want to do first. We want to release the product, and we're very close to do so. And then later on, we're gonna be able to share everything about how it works, and we will have to share it anyway, because the plan for the next Kickstarter is to show everything how it works. But I'm getting strange emails coming from different strange people from the industry asking questions about this process or how it's made. We want to make it as well. I mean, give us time to launch it first, and then we will come back to answering some questions I'm getting via email. Yeah, it's a quite good technology in my personal opinion. We're going to make a special video. We even got a name for this one. It's a Prismacast. So it is unique, absolutely unique process. And initially I wanted to do it slightly different. It turns out there is limitations, and we need to kind of go another mile and use a real painted miniatures in order to actually do so. It's really, it doesn't sound complicated, but it is. It is, because you have to keep the depth of the elements, and we wanted to initially do it with just the painting stuff by our 2D artist, and it's ain't working. So I will be sharing more info about this soon. Caves. If pre-painted pledges is ordered, does the stretch goals and super stretch goals will be pre-painted too? Now, very important. I mentioned. Oh, hold on a second. I mentioned here yes. One second. Just clear this one. I mentioned this yes only for the walls, doors, floors only. So if you ask for stretch goals, normal stretch goals like some props, they're not gonna be painted. Not yet. A simple answer is it's going to be a lot of spruce to be painted for you if you're going to choose this pledge, and just thinking about the timeline and everything else and how fast we have to do it, we're not going to be able to do so, right? How many sections? Okay, the question was how many sections you're going to get in Airship. I think it's just one. I believe it's just one. I think we couldn't get any more sections because the sprues are overloaded anyway with that airship, so it's just going to be one section per airship. So unfortunately, if you need more, you need to get more airships. Mata is asking question. I have a question. I cannot wait to get the game myself. So is there any way to check what dates of closing pledge are shipping nowadays? This question is coming back like a boomerang. We are unable to give you that info because we are shipping everything to a shipping company, and all those distribution companies, they will be shipping on our behalf to you, and they're gonna get a list from us of exactly what is on the container and the list of the backers. So if they're going to choose them alphabetically or they're going to choose them differently, that's up to them. I know we cannot do much, we cannot influence this shipping much because it is their process. So, and I'm guessing it's all about what they're shipping right now because of the cost of shipping of X, Y, Z and stuff, right? And the shipping changed. I mean, the price and cost changing. I mean, they charge us 9% more for shipping, but we accounted 5%, but it's 4% off at the moment. But it's fine. We will cover it. I'm talking here about the end distributors, right? Oh, and shipping, not the container shipping. That was heavy hit. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So, appreciate it. Looks amazing. Good job. I'm happy. I choose the shade. Stood just said. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you. Just looking at more questions. Does solvent-based plastic cement work on through the pre-painted surfaces, or would some scraping, sanding be required? Okay, so definitely the glue, which is for plastic glue, won't work. Because the plastic glue dissolves the plastic itself in order to combine. It's like when you have a painted miniature, you won't be able to do it. And if you want to glue something on top, you will have to scrape it off. You're going to have to scrape it off. Now, the super glue will work. There's no problem with the super glue, right? Where did the name Archon Studio came from? So, if you Google it, Ian, if you Google it, you will find out Archon is basically Archon from Greek, which means ruler. But really, the name is coming from this guy here. If you know who is, then great. If you don't, then Google it. Right? We're big fans of this game. Deusle. What is the number of hull extension parts are getting in the per kit? Also, this is the question. 1. I always say 1 at the moment because we haven't got a... We promised to give you more if there is a room on sprue. There wasn't room on sprue, so in this case, just 1. Okie dokie, let's move on to the next caves. And voila. So this is just WEEP, so work in progress. It's one of 9 of super stretch goals teams. You'll be able to select it, and this is what you're gonna get for free as one of the super stretch goals. So how it will work during the campaign, we plan to unlock, well, if everything goes according to plan, we plan to unlock at least 3 super stretch goals, and each of the stretch goals will have 3 different teams to pick from. So you can mix and match the way you want. It doesn't really matter. It's gonna be up to you. Then you can combine them in something like that, but they are kind of place of interests, and that's the whole idea. Although you can get more sets of the same and then extend it, make it much more bigger, but just wanted to show you what is here, what is that. So that's one team. Now also what is missing here is a small bridge which will be connecting those the main arena with all the corridors, and I think the gate is here as well needed. So we will see how that one will be done fully, but you may expect that. Now what you can see here is those tiles are designed especially for the curved ones, so you won't have any end tiles whatsoever. So this is something new which we managed to design, and we think it works very, very well. Now imagine this pre-painted. Imagine this pre-painted with our technology. So it's just gonna be crazy though. So that's the one. And then we have this is only work in progress. It's a belly of the beast, and then this is the second team. You're gonna be able to select it from the super stretch goals, And yeah, I think, as I mentioned to you, I not believe, I see that by my eyes. I mean, you can tell it's one of the best terrains we have ever designed, right? For the for our systems, for dungeons and laser systems, right? Yep. I did. I'm actually backer for the Stormcrate, and I did also zero. Let me out here. Zero. The other RTS. I'm a big fan of the RTSs, right? Now, Warcraft 3's got new expansion now, also made by the fans, which something I'm looking into it. Apparently is great, so maybe I will try that one too. I'm personal backer, so I did back the other. We did back as a company the other project, which was the Immortal. This one at the moment that was actually very good. I think I did play the alpha and beta and really like it, but I think it's too complicated. It's too complicated for my taste. So I would rather go for the normal type of the RTS strategy instead of having several different mechanics for each of the faction. It's too complicated for me. So the Immortal, I think they know that there's too much basically to learn, and they're gonna do, yeah. The question from Belanos: will be any website to share on missions scenarios for the Heroes 3 board game? Board Game Geek will be the best one. We're not gonna be making or creating a new website just for that. So, but definitely on the Board Game Geek, drop it. People will appreciate that. And there's a, you can always upload some files there and such. So this is the best place to reach out to other fans with your creations. Hi Andres, I did mention at the beginning of the live stream that what we plan to do is run the crowdfunding campaign. Although Wave 7 will be released normally, and this is first quarter of releases, and the team's got the pictures, but they haven't shared. The pictures needed a little bit of work, so tomorrow a newsletter is being sent out. Now the big news is that we've got a license for other markets, so we're going to see a influx of increase of number of people playing the game, especially from United States, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. So we do have all those markets now, and the bigger release will be in the second quarter of this year. And we're going to start with first crowdfunding campaign and rapid shipping. So, and then gradually we're gonna add more stuff. Now, the campaign itself also would include more factions. So stay tuned, because we will be writing a blog post about it soon, and you will know exactly more there. So I understand now that the coins don't count as miniatures. They are not shredded, but what is miniatures? Building morale, miniatures, Graal treasure. I think I don't know if there was something on our communication or miscommunication, but I believe the intention, and we were quite clear about. Well, I think we're like clear that we're only going to be touching miniatures. So the miniature is a playable element with characters and such. Anything else like buildings and morale and stuff like that, they kind of props. Yeah, and in fact, actually, several of those things were exchanged from the paper ones into plastic. So yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I wanted to show you something. If you got more questions, just keep them coming, but I'm gonna show you something. I feel much better, thank you. I do feel much better. I work differently. I think my brain works slightly differently to other people, because I'm kind of I'm really resist to any bad news when they actually come in, and it will just generate stress, and I just basically gonna eat a lot. I might eat a lot when I have stress, but in general, in the last couple of days, we have been receiving only good news. Yeah, kind of even today, which I would like to say, but no, I won't. But I'm in general getting good news. How to say that one? Basically, it just keep my Owen running, so I got more power. And people probably know, because my HDAD just kick offs, and I'm all over the places with a team and asking tons of questions and stuff like that. But whenever we get really good news, I'm usually back on my feet, and that's the way I now know. That's the way of getting my battery recharged. No rest, nothing, just to give me good news. and I just realized when we had like a bad days, I was usually going around the teams and asking questions. Hey, please give me some good news, because I need it for today, so something like that. Okay, I want to show you something. Because I said I'm gonna be, yeah. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about miniatures and why I strongly believe now that we're ready to go into wargaming, so like a proper wargaming now. I do have a few miniatures to show you. These minis are from Deus Lab. This is what we made in house, right? So let me just try to get a better zoom. That's our own manufacturing in-house here in Poland and such. And nowadays, I really start believing that we are ready to go for the war game. Especially that some of the minis and some of those elements of the minis, some of the solutions we have in place now for manufacturing, for sculpting and designing minis, are kind of in pair now with the biggest leaders, or with the leader. There's only one leader at the moment, and I think we're ready. Well, if you paint them, you will see much more, right? Much more on those minis. But why I'm saying this, because I wanted to show you also a few elements on the sprues. So we finally achieved the level of a detail I really wanted to have it at the day one. So start the sprue. Let me just, oh yeah, now maybe zoom out. Look at that. I mean, that's my finger, right? It's a basically small goblin, actually orc. But this level of a sculpting, this level of CNCing, look at that. Yeah. So, let me show you something we've made in 2019, right? And that was the base point. That was a first miniature we made back in 2019. It was for the actually design is coming from 2018. It was one of the first tools I designed, one of the first miniatures we cut, and one of the first miniatures we designed. So it is okay. But with the current technology, with current knowledge, with current skill, we could make a miniatures which gonna be comparing with easily with GW. Now, for instance, this mini right here. So that is one of the miniatures. I've got that here, and that's because it keeps reminding me that we have a great war game we haven't released. But when I look at this miniature, I know that there's so many things we can change, improve now, in order this miniature to be even much better. So we've made this call, we've made this decision before, and kind of we were kind of forced to actually make this decision because I'm fed up of running projects with well, I'm gonna say too much, so maybe not. Yeah, so we kind of going to make this call and going to make this move. We do have like 4 playable factions designed, although the miniatures wise we still have to go back to every single individual miniature in order to improve. Especially that, you know, really a lot of the team learn a lot in terms of, you know, how much we can put details in the miniature in order to get this level of a of details. And yeah, so I think we finally get there. We got there. We are there. We finally there with that level of sculpting, and it's about time to go there with the very nice wargaming. We will see how we go with we will see how we go with a, what's the name, with design, because obviously 99% of a coolness of the miniature is actually in design, in that thought through where you have to put into the miniature before the miniature is sculpted, and then very nice a 2D sculpting. So that's the things which a but I think we got team for that one. Marcin is very good, and Marcin will be part of these projects. And yeah, it might not be very fast, it might be very quick projects, because obviously it needs time and to bake it, and I think we're looking at 2025. But it is process in motion, which means well, the train already left the station, not left the station, the train already is moving, so we're not gonna be stopping. That's it. Okay, do you guys have any more questions? Because it's like 9:11, which is quite short for unboxing, and you know. Oh no, wait a second. Wait a second. I did forget about show you something. You see. Right, completely forgot about the my precious. Right, I wanted to show you this. This is pre-painted by machine. This is our own process to pre-paint stuff. Now ignore this the brown color here. It's gonna be much more darker. But I wanted to show you this. Right, this is the process we're gonna be using for caves, just to pre-paint caves. Oh, by the way, more miniatures. Look at that orc. You will be, yep. Quick. Right. This one, they're tiny minis, right? They're much smaller than normal size minis. Still, the detail and everything else in there. And here we have a lady orc. By the way, we designed orcs based on the original concept, so with pig face. Okay. Going back to this, my precious. We all agreed in the company that we have something special. Something really, really special now. Right? Look at that. If I was going to paint this, it would take me, I don't know, I guess a few weeks, maybe a little bit more. Not only that, I think it would, I wouldn't be able to match all the way the same shades of color, if you know what I mean. So I'm bad at that. Usually I change my painting mind on the go. But I just wanted to show you this because this is I think this is kind of new revolution in terms of our products, and not only our products, because that's not only this. That's, for instance, one prop being painted. So you get that on the sprue. This is a prop which is on the sprue. But to get this level of painting, you have to probably pay quite a lot. Not only pay quite a lot. If you paint by yourself, you're gonna spend a good amount of time to actually do so. So yeah. And the caves and everything else, we're all gonna have this one pre-painted. I did show you the other sprues, but it's not necessary. This is actually one of the new releases, which is going to retail and is going to be available in this quarter in stores. Yep. So, yeah, this is what it is. Okay, question here. Any chance to get a pre-painted home war game? So at the moment, this process, Ian, we are only going to use for the terrain and such, which means that a war game will have terrain and the terrain for the war game will be pre-painted. Now, in terms of miniatures, we don't know. I don't know personally because it takes a good amount of time to actually get stuff pre-painted, and I would rather focus on the terrain at the moment. I'm going to be testing on the miniatures. We did actually some small tests on the not only miniatures but on some elements out of the sprue we had it. So it works. It's not ideal yet, and I think the first step in this technology will be to develop for the terrain, improve it, and then look at the miniatures and maybe make a full pre-painted sprues. So this, but fully pre-painted. So you only will just cut the miniature and assemble miniature, right? And I think that's almost 90% of coolness taken away. Because I think the hobby is to paint, is to assemble and to paint miniatures. Although that could be great for the wargame, maybe for stuff when you have tons of miniatures and you don't want to really spend your time painting 50-60 miniatures. I'm watching quite a lot of the live streams now for the new game for the Old World, Warhammer Old World. I'm a big fan of the Warhammer Fantasy Battle, the old one, 8th edition, and I've seen this question coming back constantly about, okay, how many miniatures I need and how many miniatures I need to paint. So yeah, but let's see. Maybe we're gonna get there with miniatures as well. First that. Okay, so JJK, will there be we both half and the full hide walls available? Personally, I prefer half hide walls. It means getting more coverage per dollar, but I know some people prefer full hide. With the caves, we don't have kind of half and the full walls because the caves got their own. Let me just show you examples. Right? Let me just change the camera, right? So quickly. Okay. One sec. Okay, so this is our test samples, 3D printed, just to see how they work together, how they look. That's much better. So for the half wall, that's what we classify as a half wall. So this boundary is 50. The other side of the boundary is 50. So it's sorry, 25. This is 25, I believe, and that's 25. Let me just double check for you. I don't wanna talk bullshit. Yep, it's 25 millimeter. Okay, so the edge here is 25 millimeter. So kind of this is half wall, but you have some extended spikes here. Now for the tall wall, which you're gonna get mix of it, right? It starts from 25 and moves around to round about 50 and goes back to 25, right? So you don't have a per se like you had it with the previous system, like you have with this system, half wall and a tall wall. You're gonna get mixed, and this is purely made just make sure the design stays kind of artistic, and that's why we are kind of able to do these things, right? So as you can see here, I mean, as I said, I think this is going to be one of the best terrains we ever designed. I mean, on the table, that's going to look so epic, especially painted or pre-painted by us. But yeah, that, or even if you go into more kind of Diablo style Did I say that loud? I did. Caves. Yeah, so the same here. So we couldn't stick with a kind of the system we had previously because it wouldn't work for that. So your table will look much better. Now, I did mention at the beginning of a live chat that the team is actually working on some extensions to give you like the additional layers. Ian, I'm not. Everything except the board games is made here in Poland. So all the plastic injection, pre-painted stuff, everything, new heroes, Wargame will be made fully 100% in Poland. So nothing will be outsourced. So there is no risk of a kind of delays or, yeah. That's correct. I did mention this. So Vincent, that bright orange plastic really clashes with the paint. I totally agree on that one. This is gonna be brown, dark brown, to match the wood itself. So I said just ignore that one for today. Tomorrow we're gonna get new samples. We simply didn't get a plastic dye on time to do that. But every single terrain we're going to design will have this one in mind. If we go for the pre-painted, we have to make sure that everything around it is basically shades and colors the way it should be, right? So it will blend it with the pre-painted. Okie dokie. Lolovsky. Please prepare painting guide for home. I think you have to ask community for that. That will be easiest and fastest. We don't have painters in house, and it needs to be made professionally. We will see if maybe some studio will be interested to actually make a painting guide, and then we can post it and give them some advertising and pay them for the service. Maybe that will work, but we as a company we won't be able to do that because we don't have a means and kind of skill, right? Yeah, I did. It's not the third one. I did the first one and second one. I got installed the third one, but at the moment I'm totally into the Baldur's Gate 3. I just want to finish. I'm in Act 3. I need to finish because it gives me so many ideas. But that's my thing. Taking ideas from the video games. But they do like it. I mean, I'm raised on the RTSs, right? From Dune through. If you look at my Steam account, it's all the RTSs from top to bottom, right? So, but I started with Dune, and then Red Alert was a big part of my life, and then obviously StarCraft. StarCraft was the biggest one. It was the game which I spent tons of hours. Back then, of 1999, we played many tournaments, and we won many tournaments here in Poland, European tournaments as well. So back then, when we had to download a bat reps from internet from Korea to see how Slayer or Boxer how they play and such. So yeah, take ideas from there. But StarCraft changed everything in terms of e-games. Shame. I mean, one of the RTS. No, it's not actually RTS. It's much more. It could be RTS depending how you launch the game. It's a game which I really loved was Max Mechanized Assault and Exploration. It's the game which still got it. I got the original one and such. So yeah. Oh yeah, XCOM. That's the one as well. Yep, XCOM. Yeah, check out Chronicle X. So where did you get the inspiration for Chronicle X? Let me think. Yeah, it was from XCOM. Well, I'm not saying that, but inspiration, yes, you can take inspiration from anything you want, as long as you not copy paste bluntly. Okie dokie. So XCOM 2 is 95% off. it's I don't know. I really like the original XCOM. I played the new ones. I really finished them, but for some reason, when you have 95% of hitting chance and you missed at 60% of chances for some reason, I don't know how the math works there. But yeah, wasn't encouraging. Stormgate. Yeah, Stormgate is the next one, big one, I think. I watched a few bat reps. I mean, there was a tournament not that long ago, and one of the Polish lads won the tournament. Mana, I think, was it, from StarCraft. And yeah, I mean, the balance was out of the window, right? But I think they got still a lot of time for balance, but it's give you this good feel of actually you can tell it's made by the ex-Blizzard people. Or I don't know if you heard today that Microsoft just laid off 1,900 people. That's including Mr. Yerba from CEO or president actually of Blizzard. So a lot of people actually lost their jobs. I hope they're gonna find it quickly. I mean, there's if you on LinkedIn, you know, but there's more and more actually layoffs happening currently from all of the companies, including just a few days ago, Riot announced about 10% layoffs. So it's really happening. It's not good, it's happening at the moment. But what's good about it, I think out of those people who's gonna lose their jobs, the new studios will emerge with new ideas, new games. So yeah, there's a good and bad thing. I do remember Exterminacja from Techland from 1999. I do. Did play that. I think that was on Amiga still. Oh, no, yeah, it was on Amiga. I mean, everybody knows Syndicate, right? You play probably Syndicate. I mean, come on, this is one of the, you know, those are classic ones. Syndicate was Earth to 2040, yes, Earth 2040. That also, I think this is something like Polish creation, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a good question. Would you port Heroes Might and Magic to Tabletop Simulator? We have Orion. Master of Orion was actually turned into Tabletop Simulator because we need it for playtesting. We are playtesting all around the globe. So that's that. So probably we'll be able to play a Master of Orion before we launch the game, at least through the simulator. But that's about it. Yeah. I mean, the best simulator for the Heroes of Might and Magic is the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 video game. I can see, yeah. We do have, yes. So we do have Rampart. Rampart is I can show you even pre-painted Rampart. It's the terrain for Wargaming, but it's for the fantasy. It's for the sci-fi. Sorry. Right. Yeah. So. I wanted to show you because I have it here. So something we that was the one of the initial tests for pre-painting. So that's the kind of city ruins. So you combine them together, you just build a city. You can build like stack them up and build quite large towns. So here's some examples of pre-painted stuff. Green. That's not the best one, but we did try. We have to. Yeah, well, those things you have to try. You have to try it and see which one works better, because this is a new technology, really new technology. If I go out there now, try to find somebody who will tell me what to do and how to do it, all of them gonna say they don't know. So test it, try it, test it, try it. Polanie, I know that, yeah, played as well. Play many, bloody hell, what's the name? The FTSs. Okay, so quick question. Heroes Wargame 2025, 2026, first or second quarter of 2025. That's from that. Don't forget about Commandos. Commandos was one of the big ones. Actually, Commandos was one of the licenses we were going for at some point. we didn't want to make a board game from, you know, that not the game, but we grabbed other ones, so we grabbed the other licenses, and that project was basically put aside. Nowadays we have too much on our plate, actually, looking at the our release schedule, which, by the way, I'm gonna be sharing with you once we can make all the announcement about the IPs and everything else. So we're gonna be sharing with you next 2 years of announcements. Yeah. Iron Harvest. Oh, that's the one I haven't played yet. I do like the Company of Heroes. Not as much like, you know, playing competitive, because that wasn't. But I would rather actually. I really like the Dawn of War. Dawn of War 1, and with this new apocalyptic expansion, and Dawn of War 2, obviously, and let's forget about Dawn of War 3. Yeah, we here actually in the company, we didn't have it for the long time now, but we used to have like a nights games where we just basically stay on Friday till, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we just play video games. And most of the games we played was the RTSs, yeah, and FPS, RTS and FPS. That's the other thing. Okie dokie. By the way, I spoke with Shimon. Shimon said some people at the some guys at the Discord, they were saying if we could make like a chill out, a live when we just talk about heroes. Obviously, there's a few other people needed for that, so maybe we should do that. And I think once we ship out, or halfway through shipping, so maybe next month, I will get more people, and we're just gonna, or maybe in a new office would be better, because new office will have much more space, and we can just get better camera and wide camera for everybody to be on the camera, at least 3 guys to be on the camera, and we can make like a chill out, a live stream when we're gonna be only talking about the heroes. So you will be able to ask all the questions to Jakub, and Shimon will be there as well. Think maybe I will skip that one and give a chance to other guys from the company to actually show their face and talk about it. My friend, the pledges will arrive very soon. Very soon. I think just a couple of months. If you go on a Kickstarter, you have all the info, shipping info and delivery info. But yeah, it's a shame about the ships, right? It's a shame that we, you know, towards the just literally on the last straight, we had this issue with ships going around Africa instead of actually going through the Red Sea, but happens. Okay, I think I'm about to finish. I need to go home. I've got work tomorrow. We drive to trade shows on Sunday. On Sunday, yeah. So I'm not gonna be available next week, kind of. But I think once I return, we will do another live chat. So that's, yeah, gonna see you in 2 weeks' time. And what else? Yeah, we could do it from the pub in the UK Expo. Well, yeah, that's a good call. Jarek is in chat. A laminate. So Conrad was asking a question, do you think it's worth it laminate cards for home? I think sleeves. I don't think lamination. I haven't seen the card, because then you're gonna have a problem with once you laminate it, you're gonna have a problem with cutting the cards out right from it. I mean, as far as I know, if this is what you mean. And sleeves are sufficient enough, and it's easy to go, and easy to replace, and easy to, you know, and should nothing happen to your cards. You know, we have holo cards, so I don't know if lamination might destroy them. So maybe don't try it. Not on the holo cards. Update was yesterday. So as Shimon mentioned, we should be next week or within a couple of weeks in the February. It all depends when we're gonna get all the boxes in from the printing house. Because the way we design the boxes, we ship them to printing house. They send us the prints, and we have to cut them and glue them. And there's a good number of boxes to be made. But yeah, we got everything. We got all the sprues, everything. It's just basically boxes which are needed to be designed. And one of the reasons why the boxes need to be designed is we really don't know how thick the sprues will be once we actually manufacture them, and how to line them. Put them together in the boxes in order to make them as the boxes as slim as possible. But initially we had different idea about the shipping, just to ship them slightly different than just individual boxes, but it wasn't looking very good, so we decided to go for the full boxes. Yeah, that's correct. So you won't be able to reverse this. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to answer all the stupid questions. No, all the good questions. There is no stupid questions. You enrich the hobby so much with your AMA videos. Thank you. And thank you for actually spending time with me. I mean, it's, you know, it's 9 o'clock-ish. Almost 10. Okay. I'm gonna be finishing for today. In a good spirit. I believe I have more news for you once I'm back. There's lots of things on the horizon which I'm very excited about it, and especially our own stuff. So not as much for the IP. One of the IPs broke my heart because I don't think we're gonna be able to ever deliver. Which well, at some point I'm gonna be talking about this because it's a long story and it's quite interesting story. Yeah. That's about it. Good night. Thank you very much, and see you in a couple of weeks' time.